Hey guys, this is Ankita. Hope you all are doing well. Let's begin with the most important head of chapter 2, that is Fayol's Principles of Management. Mark my words that Fayol's Principle of Management, that is the most important head of your book. I guess one case study from this particular topic should come in your final examination. So let us start discussing about Fayol's Principle of Management. First of all, the full name of Fayol was Henry Fayol, and he was born on 1841 and he died on 1925. He was a French industrialist. Clear? He is also popularly known as the father of modern management theory. He has given the theory of management which we used to follow nowadays. The management theory of Henry Fayol include 14 principles. I repeat, how many principles? 14 principles. He suggested that management should interact with personnel in 5 basic ways, that is planning, organizing, directing, controlling and coordinating. So without wasting the time, let's come on the topic. Here we are going to discuss about the first principle of management, that is division of work. Division means to cut short. That's why this principle suggests that one difficult task should be divided into small jobs so that it would be easy to manage that particular jobs. Basically, it is done to minimize the wastage and increase the efficiency of workers. Clear? The division of work says that if there is a task which is very tough, so you have to divide it into 2 segments, and if still you find it difficult, then you can divide it into the another small segments. Or if we will talk about the workers, then we can say that here we are having the manager and he can introduce 2 subordinates of him. After that, these subordinate managers can appoint 3 or maybe 4 workers under them, and those 3 and 4 workers can hire more workers under them. So their efficiency may increase and everyone who is specialized in their particular task will be able to get that job. Here you can see that authority goes upward to downward, whereas responsibility goes downward to upward. This segment especially says that responsibility junior level के लोगों की नहीं होती. Responsibility belongs to the higher authority. वहीं अगर हम बात करें authority की, तो authority belongs to the junior level only, because they have to follow each and every task which is given to them. They cannot go for anything else. So this is the whole principle, which is division of work. Basically, the consequences of this principle must be wastage of time and resources and conflicting situations. Means if division of work is not done in a particular manner, then each and every worker will give more time in doing the similar job. Still, the result would not be satisfactory. Clear? The next point is authority and responsibility. Firstly, we should know what exactly the authority is. Authority is the right to give orders. Means authority is boss. Whereas if we will talk about responsibility, then responsibility means being accountable to someone. Whom you would be accountable? To the boss. And who will be the accountable persons? They will be workers. It clearly shows that authority belongs to bosses and responsibility belongs to workers, because they are responsible or accountable to someone. Principles of authority and responsibility states that these two must go hand in hand. It means that proper authority should be delegated to meet the responsibilities. What is delegation? Delegation means to give. यानी आपको अपने पास जितनी अथॉरिटी है उसमें से थोड़ी सी अथॉरिटी अपने से नीचे लेवल वाले वर्कर्स को देनी है, सो दैट वो अपने एंड पर अपने जूनियर वर्कर्स से काम करवा सके. दैट इज अथॉरिटी एंड रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. नंबर थर्ड इज डिसिप्लिन. डिसिप्लिन मीन्स ओबीडियंस और रेस्पेक्ट फॉर अथॉरिटी. If you are not obedient or you are not respectful for your authority, then you will never be able to follow the command which is being given by that authority. And authority is boss, as I have cleared it. So, discipline focuses on common efforts of workers. It clearly shows that there should be a common effort of all the workers, then only the discipline could be followed. जब तक वर्कर नहीं चाहेंगे तब तक वो अपने बॉस की बात को फॉलो नहीं करेंगे, और चाहने के लिए इट इज नेसेसरी दैट दे शुड बी इन अ डिसिप्लिन. फोर्थ प्रिंसिपल इज यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड. यूनिटी मीन्स एकता, which says that order should be given only by one authority. Means only a single boss should give all the orders. It should not be like that Mr. X has given one order and Mr. A has given some other orders. Otherwise, lot of confusions will happen among the workers and they will not understand that what kind of orders or which order they should follow first. जब सारे लोग आपको अलग अलग काम देंगे तब यू विल नेवर बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड कि कौन सा वाला काम पहले करना है. दैट प्रिंसिपल इज यूनिटी ऑफ कमांड. यानी वट एवर ऑर्डर विल बी गिवन इट शुड बी गिवन बाय अ सिंगल पर्सन. द नेक्स्ट वन इज यूनिटी ऑफ डायरेक्शंस. Unity of direction says that all employees must have same objectives. They should work together to achieve a common goal. Clear? It simply says that if the employees will not work together, then they will never be able to achieve the common goals of company. And the common goal of company is to earn profit. The application of this principle helps in establishing coordination and uniformity in the activities as well as in the organization. What should be the positive impact of unity of command and unity of directions? There must be better coordination, systematic working and achievement of organizational goal. 3 बेसिक ऑब्जेक्टिव फुलफिल होंगे. पहला, काम सिस्टमैटिक तरीके से होगा. दूसरा, सारे वर्कर्स के बीच में बेटर कोऑर्डिनेशन होगा. और तीसरा, जब कोऑर्डिनेशन होगा, सिस्टमैटिक वर्किंग होगी, तो दे विल डेफिनेटली बी एबल टू अचीव द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल्स. नाउ मूविंग टुवर्ड्स द नेक्स्ट, the sixth principle is subordination of individual interest to general interest. Means it focuses to integrate individual goal with the organizational goal in such a manner that both the objectives can be fulfilled. It simply says that the organization should merge the organizational goal with the goal of their workers, so that the workers will work more efficiently to fulfill organizational goals. It means कि worker का basic motive है to earn more profit and The organizational goal is again to earn more profit. So if the organization will give them a situation that if they will make a sale of 1 lakh rupees or more than that, then the organization will provide them 10% extra commission. Then this will integrate means merge या mix कर देना, that will integrate the individual goal with the organizational goal. अब वर्कर ज़्यादा मेहनत से काम करेंगे उस 1 लाख रुपए की सेल के लिए, because they know that if they will go for a sale of 1 lakh rupees, then they will definitely get extra 10% commission. Now, the seventh principle is remuneration. Remuneration means the employee must get fair wages or remuneration. Remuneration is something which is wages, salary or something that the person get in lieu of their work. जो कुछ भी आपको मिलता है अपना काम करने के बदले में, वो चीज़ कहलाती है remuneration. Clear? So the remuneration scheme should motivate the employee to perform better. Remuneration scheme should be like that कि अगर वर्कर ज़्यादा अच्छा काम करेगा तो उसको सैलरी इंक्रीमेंट दिया जाएगा. If they will sell higher, then they will get more commission. Clear? The next point is centralization and decentralization. Mark my word, it is one of the important topic, that is centralization and decentralization. Centralization means power to take decision in one hand. It means, you can see in this particular diagram, that Mr. X has hold all the decision making power and he himself is giving all the directions to A, B, C, D, E, F and G. Clear? Whereas if we will talk about the decentralization, then decentralization means when the power to take decision is given to the person who is doing the job, then whosoever is doing that particular job is able to take all the decision related with that particular task only. Like when A was doing the job, he was having the authority. When he shifted it to B, B was having authority. And when he shifted that particular task to C, अब C के पास authority है, then D and then E. This is decentralization. Here it is important to note that the ratio of centralization and decentralization differs according to the situation. The principle talks about the effective centralization. They are not saying कि सब कुछ decentralize कर दो. What they are saying is there should be a effective centralization. When it is necessary, you can delegate the authorities, and when it is not necessary, you can come again on the centralization. Like the main and basic decision should be centralized. The positive impact of this principle would be proper functioning of the organization, no extra burden on the top level management and quick decision making. क्योंकि जो आदमी काम कर रहा है अगर उसी के पास अथॉरिटी है तो whenever he feels he can directly switch कि ये वाला टास्क सही नहीं है, I can go for another one. That is centralization and decentralization. Centralization means when all the power is in one hand, and decentralization means when you have delegate the authority to someone else. जब आपने दूसरों को अपनी सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी डिसीजन मेकिंग पावर दे दी तो दैट इज नोन एज decentralization. ठीक है. Now, in Fio's principle of management, one of the important principle is scalar chain. What is this scalar chain? The chain of supervision from the highest to the lowest rank is known as scalar chain. This principle states that there should be no overlapping of the steps during the communication process. Once the order is given by a single higher authority, then it should be followed by the lowest rank people. But here we are having an exception of color change, that is gang plan. This gang plan could be easily understood with this diagram. This diagram says that in a company, CEO is Mr. A and he is having two different departments, and in each department B, C, D, E and S, T, U, V hold the same position. Like B and S are on same position, C and T again are on same position, and D and U are also on same position. So this gang plank work as a bridge between the employees with equal ranks. This concept was developed to establish a direct contact with the employees of equal rank in case of emergency, to avoid the delay in communication. If there is an emergency and Mr. D will go to Mr. A to ask whether this task should be performed or not, or whether he should take that particular decision or not. So maybe बहुत देर हो जाए. So what he can do is he can go through the gang plank and he can directly ask his subordinate who is on the same rank, like you. D and U are on the same post. So they can communicate with each other to take the decision. Clear? The next is order. This principle states that there should be a proper order for everything. In the Fewell's view, in every organization, there should be a fixed place for everything. If there would be a fixed place for everything, then it will facilitate smooth working and avoid the wastage of resources. Once the resource wastage would be minimized, then there would be an increase in the productivity of the organization. That is order. Now, the 11th principle is the principle of equity. Equity means kindness and justice in the behavior of managers towards workers. This principle says that it will bring loyalty and devotion in the behavior of employees, and they will put their best to achieve the organizational goals. Managers should not discriminate on the basis of age, caste, sex, religion, because अगर आप सबको अलग अलग तरीके से देखेंगे तो एवरी वर्कर विल वर्क डिफरेंटली, क्योंकि जिस लेवल का आप उसे समझते हैं वो उसी हिसाब से काम करेगा. बट इफ यू विल सी देम एज इक्वल और इक्विटी प्रिंसिपल पे वर्क करेंगे, देन इट मीन्स ईच एंड एवरी वर्कर विल गिव देयर 100% फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल गोल्स. The 12th principle is stability of tenure. It means to reduce the insecurity among the employees. Means you are not going to change the position of your workers frequently. Neither you are going to fire them. If a worker is not secure about his job, then he will never work efficiently. अगर उसे लग रहा है आप उसे नौकरी से निकाल देंगे तो फिर वो क्यों अच्छे से काम करेगा. इफ ही इज सिक्योर्ड अबाउट हिज जॉब कि आप उसको जॉब से नहीं निकालेंगे, उसकी पोजीशन चेंज नहीं होगी, तभी वो पूरी एफिशिएंसी से काम करेगा. द 14th पॉइंट इज इनिशिएटिव. इनिशिएटिव मीन्स टू स्टार्ट, लाइक द न्यू बिगिनिंग. दिस प्रिंसिपल सजेस्ट that each employee should be given an opportunity to take some initiative, whether good or bad. It totally depends upon the manager that whether he will pass his initiative or not. But at least each and every employee should be given a chance. Stability of job and the possibility of showing their skills may lead towards the organizational goals. Clear? Fewell suggests that each employee should be given an opportunity to take some initiative in the farming, these steps should be taken so that they may get higher profits. Last but not the least, like one of the most important head is spirit de corps. What does it mean by spirit de corps? It means team spirit or teamwork. This point suggests that each and every organization should be considered as a team, and every employee in that organization should be the team member. Harmony among the workers is a source of strength for the organization. If the workers are fighting with each other, then they will never work to gain the organizational goals. अगर उनके बीच में हार्मनी है, अच्छे रिलेशंस है, then वो एक साथ होकर काम करेंगे. That is why the company should focus on spirit de corps. Clear? That's it for today. ये थे 14 principles given by Henry Fayol. Again I am saying that these are very important and you should go through each and every principle very clearly. Thank you.